Hello, Dan, and,
Hello.
and Guilty Party.
Okay.
I guess everybody's here that's joining.
Yeah, I think we have everyone. Um, cool. I guess I'll start then. Okay, so busy 2 month, I guess. Um, I won't go over everything that's been done because most of it has been merged already. So mostly we'll talk about what's currently being worked on. On the Hive front, I've done the convert DHF proposal thing. So that when we are close to the HBD haircuts, then we no longer pay out in HBD, but instead it's converted based on the current medium price. Have one small action item on this. Is basically on the virtual operations that I'm modifying. The question is, how do we want to represent the amount of hives that's generated in case of a conversion? Because right now what I've done is I've added a field called converted that is the amount of hive because we still want to have the amount of HBD that was in. Um, Basically, I don't think we should set payment, which is the amount of HBD that was paid to zero, and have like converted to whatever hive, because it's useful to know what was the original HBD payment in case of like a partial funding. But then converted feels a little unclear, and I didn't really come up with something clear that doesn't imply like a double payment, meaning like it was paid. You guys paid both HBD and Hive.
Okay, so you're just talking about the name of the. You're just talking about the name of the
Yeah,
name of
pretty
the
much.
field. Is that,
The name of
yeah.
the field
Okay.
and possibly, like, I guess we could change payment to be both HBD or Hive, but like that would imply too much work on the other things. Um, So yes, my basically the main thing is like, do you guys feel like it's okay to have the VOP containing like payment, which is the payment that was made in HBD and then converted? It's in zero. It's zero if the haircut rule is not in effect, and it's X amount of Hive in case it was converted to Hive.
Yeah, I guess that's okay. I mean,
I've,
seems like an okay name.
yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, the people who will interact with that VOP will just have to read the documentation, and in the age of AI, they can just ask it. So
Yeah, well, you guys got to figure it out too. But
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Uh,
yeah, I mean, is it just is you gonna call it converted hive or converted just converted?
yeah, I could call it converted hive as well. I think I call it converted right now, but it could be converted hive or, as well. Um, I mean, the thing is like because assets have a name. Like if I call it like payment doesn't have is not called payment HBD. It's called payment. But then the asset is an HBD, so I'm trying to follow the same pattern.
Yeah, but I mean here it's very specific, right?
Yeah,
I mean
fair
we're
enough.
saying it.
I really don't I don't have a strong opinion. I mostly like want to have like a discussion now, so we don't have to have the
Yeah,
discussion
yeah. So we don't have to
in
change
like
it later.
issues.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at first glance, I would go with something like converted hive, but
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm not sure because if I'm good, because I didn't see your changes, how or maybe I didn't understand something in this discussion. But please be aware that lately in develop were done changes specific to types of
Oh yeah, I saw
members
that.
holding such values in conversion operations also, which much more strict are taking assets, and
Mm.
there were used specific types to exact assets to avoid similar
Oh okay.
problems in types, and maybe that completely covers this problem. But maybe I'm somehow wrong and don't and didn't understand your idea right now. Anyway, if you would push such changes and describe them, that will be cleanest way,
I think he's
and
pushed
we
the
will
changes
address it.
already.
Yeah, the main
Ah,
request is
okay,
in.
okay, yes,
Yeah.
okay,
So
thank you.
basically, Bartek, just to review what this is, there was a suggestion, I believe, from Smooth, if I recall correctly, that under the haircut rule, right now we still pay out HBD for proposals, and Smooth suggested that in the case of the basically we hit the haircut level, we would start paying out in Hive directly instead of it's in terms of HBD. And so he's how has implemented this functionality in his branch, and what he's asking about specifically right now is how to report. such conversions in, I suppose, some kind of virtual operation. And so right now, the virtual operation just reports how much HBD is paid out. And in this case, we now need to specify that instead of an HBD, it's paid out in a converted amount of Hive. And so he's asking primarily about the name of the field that we would use to describe it. So he was suggesting using the word converted to report the amount of Hive that was produced. And I suggested maybe making it converted HBD, Hive, just to establish that the type is
Okay.
Hive.
Well,
But,
I think it can have deeper consequences in Have apps, maybe even balance tracker, because maybe
Well,
there
sure,
were
balance tracker will
made
need to
some.
process it.
Yes, because they could be made some assumptions that given values were just in HBD.
Yeah,
So
sure,
we
absolutely.
definitely need to address it much deeper than only in HiveD.
Yeah,
that's a good point. I mean, I can just change this in balance tracker and the Have apps.
I need to take a look, but do we
Yes,
have
pretty
to
trivial.
actually explicitly say that if there is amount of Hive that it's converted Hive? Because if we are receiving something else than HBD, well, we know that it was converted, and that's the only way of getting something else than HBD, than the haircut rule and the situation that we have.
Yeah, I mean, the only issue here, the name is just to describe what the type is, right? So it's implicit that right now we're only saying Hive, but when you look at the operation, it might not be so clear. And my suggestion for making converted Hive is to make it a little clearer what the types involved are without having to know it implicitly.
So just to clarify, I have a question. Is it converted Hive before it's awarded, or does it remain converted Hive after it's awarded? Like in terms of the operations, the entry, does a converted Hive convert to Hive? Operations
No,
wise
it's
speaking?
actual Hive. It's actual Hive that
Yeah,
you would
actual Hive.
receive.
No. And the is it just display? That's what we just want. Is it display a converted Hive, or is it like going to convert in the UI in the front end, or is it going to convert in the back end? That's going to separate a field in the schema.
No, it's just like instead of paying out HBD, it's going to pay out Hive. So the UI will just display the virtual operation and therefore if they
the UI can do whatever it wants, right? I mean, this is just a piece of information that UI is receiving, so that it can then report what it wants to report. But presumably, it's going to report. I mean, again, it's up to the UI guy, but he might say, well, you would have got this much HBD, but instead you got this much Hive or something like that. You know, hopefully more concise form, but that's the information that would be likely you would expect most UIs to report.
Okay, so another quick question. The Hive that will be converted, obviously, on a daily basis, the rate changes, the market rate changes. So would it update itself repeatedly on a daily basis that you're going to get this much Hive, this much Hive?
It's updated
like for instance,
hourly with the median price. Like payments are made hourly, and every hour, basically, when we make a payment, we look at the median price and we give out the amount of the corresponding amount of HBD.
Okay, and median price is
basically something like the reverse of what we're doing right now, where we convert Hive to HBD.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it was a UI thing, so like it changes all the time. So I was just thinking that's going to change every hour or something. But yeah, it's clear now. 100 every hour. Okay.
I mean, the UI doesn't need to compute it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's just talking about if it wants to show it. He's just
okay.
The UI is going to show it.
A question: how the way this was implemented is that, I mean, normally you have a proposal pay transaction, right? That takes place every hour. So after this operation takes place, the HBD will be converted, or in the same transaction?
In the same transaction, you will get a new field called converted Hive, which is the amount of Hive that was actually paid out.
Okay.
So you never receive HBD. You directly receive Hive.
I mean, I thought about doing like a second virtual operation in case of a conversion, but then it makes it harder for people in the apps to keep track, because you need to keep track of two operations, which is more annoying.
Yeah. Okay. So new custom field added to the transaction to highlight there's an amount of Hive instead of HBD.
Yeah.
And maybe the rate at which it was converted.
Sorry. Well, the rate you can just compute it.
because he's reporting that
Okay.
you can do it as a ratio, right? He's
Yeah,
reporting
you
how
have
much
HBD
Hive,
HBD in,
I mean,
Hive
HBD
out, and
compared
then
to
you
Hive.
just
Ah,
divide.
okay. Okay, perfect, perfect.
Anything else on this topic?
Not for me.
Okay. And yeah, apart from this, can I wanna ask? I went back on the PG18 update. I need to just give Dan. I just need to give you like a list of all the new Docker images I need to, because the pipeline explodes immediately right now. But it's like very low priority, so whatever. And then, yeah, there is a post-subscription notification feature and moderation audit log, which are both ready for review. So I don't fully know what is the state of HiveMind develop right now in terms of like how ready it is to receive
I'll
new
report
features.
on that shortly.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so basically I'll let you go then.
Okay, so I guess we haven't had a meeting for a bit, so I guess I'll sort of go over what we've been doing. We've mainly been retooling everything for AI. I guess I've said that before, but just is more in depth of what we've been doing. So the biggest thing we realized pretty early on, I would say back in early November, was that the most likely bottleneck in all our development going forward was going to be verification, because the AI can write code so fast. It's no longer a problem of writing code. It's mostly making sure it's correct. And the problem is that correct verification of our code was our CI system was built for human speed development, which means it could be slow and still be okay. But in the current form, it now becomes our major bottleneck in development, because before we produced code slower than the CI could test it, and now with their initial CI back then, that was the opposite problem became immediately clear. We could code up something in 5 to 15 minutes, but then we'd have 90 minutes or more in some cases of just verifying just at CI level. Let's not even talk about a full verification of replay of the whole replay of all the code. So uh, back then in November, I started looking at how to improve that part of the process. And so for the past couple of months, I spent a lot of my time on re-architecting a lot of the way CI works to speed it up. I mean, it's nowhere near where I'd like it to be, but it's way better than it was before. Even though, of course, I introduced some problems in the process, I think the problems that it introduced are smaller than the benefits in terms of speed up of testing. So we've got our current times for a lot of things testing. We can test just about anything in 30 minutes mostly, often much less. So 10, 15 minutes and even shorter times for some of the things we do. And this is on the bigger projects. Obviously, small projects already had very fast CI times and weren't really an issue. So the ones I'm talking about primarily are Hive, half apps. Those were the big ones in terms of and half apps being, in particular, HiveMind, of course, was probably the worst of the bunch. So I'd say the three worst offenders were HiveD, Half, and HiveMind itself. And in terms of that's at CI level, at full replay level, the worst one you guys are probably aware is HiveMind, which took around 60 hours on our fastest machine to do a replay. And that's always been a big problem in terms of our release process, because it means we had, well, 2.5 days for the replay of HiveMind, and then another basically half a day for half itself. And so we had a fairly long pipeline. Any change that impacted that pipeline, we'd have to wait another 3 days to be sure we had everything right. So after I've finished working on CI, that's where I primarily focused my next time, was how to speed up HiveMind. And we've had pretty good success there. We're down to, so we were at 60 hours. HiveMind most recent good time was 19.5 hours, so basically 20 hours, 3 times as fast. So that really helps us a lot, because now we don't have to wait so many days to know that whether we've got a problem or not. Of course, doesn't mean we don't find problems faster than that, but I mean, if after 20 hours we have a full replay, and we can do a lot of testing on a full replayed system that we can't do on partially replayed systems. In particular, we can do testing against a fully replayed production system. Anyways, so that's where we've been focused, especially me in particular, is that area. And I think I feel pretty happy about the state we're in now. So based on that, we're doing this week I want to finish up our testing. We have one major decision to make right now, which we're going to decide by Wednesday. I've just decided this in the meeting earlier today with the group, which is whether we're going to use the new half or the old half. So we had a parallel branch going of half where we're trying a new technique to see if it would provide benefits to us versus the old design. So it's a fairly radical change in the underlying internal design of half. So we're testing both branches now. We've seen some regressions in the new branch, so we may put it aside and switch back to the old half for now, just in order to make sure we can release in a timely manner and pick it up again later. But so that's like I said, we're going to give it like 2 more days just to push through and see if we can find the slowdowns and the regressions in speed. And if worst case, we'll just switch back. But that won't impact HiveMind. HiveMind is actually fast under both systems. So in fact, I was told surprisingly somehow the new system is slightly faster for HiveMind, but it's slower for some of the other apps like Balance Tracker and Block Explorer, unfortunately. So my goal is to basically tag a release candidate on Friday and test it over the weekend, and hopefully Monday we'll be able to do a release. So that's kind of to answer your question, how that's kind of my release schedule. Because of that, I'm skeptical of including anything that impacts the indexing process in HiveMind. I'm fine to release things that are on the API side that are just querying the data, but I merged in a bunch of those.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But ones that impact performance, I'm a little bit. I just don't think we have enough time to fully evaluate them. So I'd rather push them off to another release when we have a little more window for the evaluation process. Doesn't mean we can't release in say another month. If it's if it all looks good and we feel like there's enough out there to make a release.
Yeah, okay.
Just
I mean, it's not the end of the world at the end of the day. I can just like I'm just rebasing. all the time.
Go ahead and get them cleaned up and I think we're nearing we should be nearing our lack. We shouldn't be making many more changes on our side once we make this one big decision on Wednesday.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not too worried, anyways.
Okay. So that's where we're at with half and HiveMind in particular. HiveD, we're mainly just doing cleanup operations. We've been avoiding adding any new functionality since, again, obviously it's critical that we have that well tested, so we don't introduce anything new. For the past couple of weeks, we haven't really done too much major in terms of changes to HiveD itself. And I don't know about I guess the code you're working on in your branch would probably be something we would tag to a future hard fork. We wouldn't necessarily tie it to this one. So if that's the case, we could include it in, and maybe we still could include it anyways.
I mean, it is a hard fork at the end of the day. So usually we can merge it and then wait like 6 months to a year
exactly.
before it actually
change
works.
our mind. Yeah, exactly. Let's see. So that's kind of where Hive and Half and the apps are at. Go ahead.
Dan, is Syncad running the latest version of what you are planning to merge soon?
No, it's not. So that's one of the next big steps in our process. We have to update for that so the apps can start testing. So I think probably by Wednesday we'll have that up, but I can't guarantee because that's also when we're making the final decision. So it's kind of tight on the time. But we'll probably have 2 replayed versions of both ready so that we could use either one. I'd imagine we should have enough hardware free that we can do that. But worst case, it could be its own little weekend that we put up that one. In which case, we'll I don't expect a lot of changes that will impact external apps this time around. There haven't been a lot of API level changes. A lot of it's been more performance related. So the only big change would be if the new half. If we wound up going with the new half, then that might push things out in terms of external testing time. That would likely impact external half apps. So I have a feeling we're going to wind up going with the old half, is my gut feeling right now, but we'll see. I just don't think there's going to be enough pros to using the new half versus the potential problems to switch to it this close to release time. Okay, and so I guess another issues that I've been mostly working on that side of things, sort of the back end side. So Bartek is been, he's handling the wax side and the UI side of things more. So I'll probably just let him cover the work there and where we're at there.
Yeah, at Wax site and generally front-end support libraries we provide, we got significant improvements related to size of such libraries. Maybe you have had a chance to read one of our articles specific to Wax size optimizations, which announced them, and second one in details described what we did there, just to share some technical information, how we were able to achieve that. But most important things are that wax size were limited more than 2 times, and right now it's near to 1.7 megabytes, what is really much smaller than previously. And newest thing from this week is that also one of our libraries, a Beekeeper tool to securely sign transaction at client side, was cut down by 8 times. So here we have uh, much more benefits because it was much simpler than Wax. And right now its size is near to 300 of kilobytes, and mostly both are used to, for example, to load denser backend at client side. And after all such optimization, we are very close to have similar download sizes as for other JavaScript libraries, because what maybe not every front-end developer may know, size of front-end libraries is not only limited to given library itself, but also to its dependencies. And we use some tools to measure impact of given libraries at final size of downloaded content. And it appears that current size of Wax makes it really competitive tool to Hive.js, and it's much less than the Hive previously integrated into Dancer. So I'm glad that we were able to achieve that, and it was not simple because most of such changes were specific to WASM code base, and changing C++ code shared between Hive protocol, FC library, and other internal tools, which are just exposed to front end using WASM technology. And hopefully we will be able to make such improvements also in the future, and continue our ideas to again somehow improve Wax. And in some lazy way, we can also a little wait for tool improvements, because as far as we did some analysis in end of last year, new WASM standard, WASM 3.0, has been approved, which, for example, significantly improved support for basic thing in every modern language, exception support, which is a known bottleneck right now in Mscript and backend and tools, and which generate a lot of code specific to that. So I also hope that such external tool improvements will allow to get such benefits also for us completely at zero cost, just by upgrading them. So that were biggest improvements that allowed us mm, to get big step forward, and new version of Wax has been publicly released together with public documentation. which also has been additionally deployed to GitHub page, what allows to be much broad access, and I think also allows to somehow limit usage of our GitLab, and this way make things more stable. Also, we are able to refresh our automatic deployment and deploy and verify Block Explorer UI to one of our testing deployments. Things seems to be working there, so I hope application is still in good condition. And from latest news, already mentioned a little. I hope we are close to make a denser release, which after a few important changes done lately, for example, after switching editor to a really industry standard version, for example, used by HackMD tool, my beloved, honestly. I hope this our application will be finally quite good and usable, and hopefully we will be able to switch from condenser very soon to do that. But more specific details about it is known by Gandalf if you want. But I hope that that should cover most of high-level issues.
So just on a similar. Oh, go ahead, Spirit. Okay, I think that's all I wanted to say. So, Mike, one question. You mentioned the Beekeeper change. I know we released Wax before that. Did we release a new version of Beekeeper? Is that planned?
Yes. I hope we will finish Beekeeper changes in this week, and will be also released after that, because internal all Beekeeper tests are passing. It works. What we need to do is code cleanup and definitely verify that its APIs are still working in our applications, for example, Dancer and other testing applications which are using Beekeeper.
Okay. I'm not sure if Spirit Surge wants to talk or not, but if you want to talk, just talk.
Yeah, sure. So one of the things actually, Bartek, I wanted to tell you. So 4 months ago, I had a denser version that I was maintaining, and yesterday I took the denser version and completed the Hive engine stuff, and there's a significant difference in speed. So I can attest to your improvements. Number one. Number two, the images that are rendered on the Hive.blog. I like yesterday, images.hive.blog was down, so none of the images were rendering. I would highly suggest that there be an option available for the user to be able to select, images.esenc.com instead of images.hive.blog if it goes down. The option should be available in the UI,
No.
in my opinion.
No,
No,
the
I,
idea
I,
is to have the same origin, and if you use the different origin, then it won't work. I mean, you are losing everything that's related to the whole idea of having the same origin and avoiding people to put stuff from the other domains. And well, you might do that for the outposts, but I wouldn't be that crazy to run that on production on my server.
Okay, so how about maintaining two versions in the images.hive.blog and maybe another one that is images.hive. something else, so that if one goes down, the other
No,
can be
you
propped
don't
up?
understand the origin thing. No, you can have the backend whatever you want, but still you have to have proxy within your origin that you have, and you don't want to have mixed content from different origins. That's the key idea that we want to avoid, and that's the idea of the proxy server itself. Otherwise, you would have like tons of different sources that images are coming from, which might be okay, but for the cryptocurrency related projects, I wouldn't go that way.
Okay, so just to clarify what I did yesterday. Yesterday the site was down, so I basically changed all the image.hive.blog right to a single variable, a variable which I then declared in the env as images.ecency.com, right? And all the images started working in both the post and outside, right? So like this is just the simple thing that if they have the same origin, right, they're all fetching the information from the same place, then it shouldn't make a difference whether it's images.ecency.com or if it's images.hive.blog, right? That's my thinking about it. But again, it's obviously you guys have a principle or a mandate that is attached to this, then it's fine, I suppose. But I'm just thinking from the perspective of the user. That's it.
Yeah, I don't have a clear opinion on myself. I think I need more information. We'll maybe talk about it later, because it's not clear to me the, the the issue on our side. But I think I have some idea about it. I think it's a security concern.
Yes,
So
yes. Well, for the outpost, the operator can decide for themselves, and it would be okay. And probably for the outpost, the idea of running your own image server within your own origin and on the backend switching, it's okay because the amount of proxied image wouldn't be that much. So they can like instead of using the uploads, because well, it won't work if the actual server doesn't have your data, and essentially image server doesn't have all the copies as far as I know. So it will work only for the proxied images, and yeah, so that's a limited thing that you can achieve while risking of using the different image hoster. And I remind that I think only ours was able to withstand the cross-site scripting attack on the SVG because of headers that we had, and others didn't. So that's risky.
yeah, I mean, there's definitely some concerns there. We'll have to look at carefully. Um, on a related note, the problem that we actually encountered, we're looking at some better solutions for in the future, basically that we can close out the open proxy and make sure this won't happen again. But that's a separate task that we just started yesterday, so we'll probably have a few more days before that's done. So in line with that, I do want to say the speed at which we can implement things now is sort of mind-boggling. Like I said, our primary bottleneck now is simply verification. Simply, yeah. But because of that, I do think we can make really good progress in a lot of areas very quickly, and that's also why we wanted to open up. Well, we've always been trying to open up the development more to other groups, but I think it becomes more important than ever now that it's more of the development now is more an idea game than anything else. It's coming up with ideas, right? And so the more people we can have that can connect up to our stuff and use it, the more ideas and the more interesting things with technologies we can get. So, anyways, with that in mind, I guess I'll pass it on to Lord Butterfly since he wants to report on the status of Magi, I assume.
Yes. Can you guys hear me? The
Yes.
UI is a bit clunky here on mobile. Yeah, so just wanted to update you guys on everything we've been doing so far. We've increased our development quite a bit. Currently, we have 9 people that are beneficiaries of the proposal working on Magi. We've had a major release last week with our NFT and token contracts, allowing to build composable smart contracts on Magi with sorry, I'm watching my kids. With token centers based on ERC20s. We finished last week our work on TSS reshare. This was done by a new member of our team, Disregard Fiat. BTC mapping is complete. So we did our first swap on testnet last week. We'll be releasing native Bitcoin on Magi in the coming days. We also hired Louis88 to redesign the Altera app UI, which is a kind of essentially our front end sort of a banking application where you can actually use Magi, right away. So we're kind of trying to bring it up to the expected standards for products in the crypto market. We have Sagar that's been working on the Altera UI. He's built out deploy and withdraw liquidity option that will be ready once we announce the Bitcoin pool launch, probably in the next couple of days. Tip Fox has joined the team as well. He has started work on the Dash integration, Dash mapping. Sorry, that Dash mapping bot. This is also important. We're going to be announcing a partnership with Dash and getting external liquidity tied to HBD. That's kind of the idea of the whole partnership. This should probably take about 2 weeks. Currently, we are dealing with CLP fee implementation for the liquidity pools. That's also going to be ready before the announcement of the Bitcoin pools. And we finished
CLP?
writing.
Could you say explain that real quickly?
Which
CLP something or another.
those are slip-based fees for the liquidity pools. So we have protocol-based fees that are distributed to the team at 8 BPS, and slip-based fees are distributed between liquidity providers and nodes
Got it.
through
Understand.
incentive pendulum system that we're working on right now. So yeah, we have written out the scope for it. It's gonna be done after BTC launch inside the next few weeks, which is important for economic security of Magi, and it can be used to deploy that's kind of where we're at right now. I also kind of took control over the operational stuff with Magi and did some reshuffling with the budget so we can actually speed up instead of kind of working on
Let me
features
interrupt
that
you
are.
for just a second, because Howard says he has to go, and we need someone to take over recording. Is there someone who can take over the recording? Gandalf, do you know how?
uh yeah, I don't.
No, I was asking Gandalf.
Oh,
Yes, I can start one. Wait.
There must be some way we could get it back.
yeah, I mean, I'm
Yes,
basically just.
recording is in progress. So
Okay. Yeah, I just basically a few more sentences. So we're kind of moving away from developing features that are not immediately needed and pushing hard towards being able to be self-sustainable in the market. So we're not reliant on the proposal. And for that, we're going to need a few more integrations and partnerships that I have in the pipeline, specifically with Decred and Firo. All of these are Dash, about 10 times our market cap. So this should get external liquidity in and should help kind of with stabilizing the price and kind of hopefully changing the trajectory we've currently been in of kind of a downward direction. So yeah, that will be it for me. If you guys have any questions, I'm always.
I have a quick one. LB, where is the updated roadmap for Magi? Have you guys done an updated one after the releases, internally at least?
I mean, we have one internally, but I kind of shared what we're going to be doing in the next couple of days. But once we do our first integration with Bitcoin, it's going to be much simpler to tell you guys which integrations are coming after that and how long they will take. Because firstly, we did the Bitcoin mapping, which was kind of the most difficult thing to do. And the future first integration is a fork of Bitcoin. So cloning the code should be much simpler. But I think I shared with guilty parties what we will be doing in the near future. But again, if you guys have any questions to ask me, I can send you something in text as well.
Yeah, just the holistic roadmap of what you guys intend to do.
Uh-huh.
The reason for that is we want to make sure that there are like a lot of other teams who are working on different stuff. We don't want to step on any toes. If there's something Major is already doing, then we want to touch that. Like for instance, like the post shortbot thing that Hive Engine has. Is that something that Major intends to have in the future? This is just an example. So if you
Can you
guys
just
have a
repeat that one more
holistic,
time? I can hear you well.
the the Scottbot thing or the Outpost thing that Hive Engine has, right? That's an example. Is that something Magi wants to have of their own that they intend to bring to the table in the upcoming months or not? Is that in the holistic roadmap? So the only reason that I'm requesting a holistic roadmap, if possible, is to make sure that because there are some other teams who are working on different stuff, we want to make sure that there's no, you know, stepping on toes.
Sure. Again, I didn't really understand which features you were mentioning. Did you guys maybe hear it? We can repeat it.
I think he's referred to a bot. I don't know if he said the stop bot, but I couldn't quite hear what
A
the bot
Scott
was.
bot, the having the like the tokens, and then you are have the token layer 2 tokens that are basically can give curation rewards, author
Like the stop
rewards.
order.
The Scott
This
bot
really
that okay, the outpost and the Scott bot, the ways that basically Hive Engine provides token holders, tribe holders, ways to monetize their own tokens, right? Where people can post and they can get those tokens in author
okay.
rewards or
I understand.
curation rewards. Right, so I call it a Scott bot. I think that's the name for it, or the
Okay.
outpost. Yes, I'm asking if are you guys like Media has something to replace that? That's just an example. I'm just asking for a holistic roadmap. I just gave an example. Yeah. If there's a holistic roadmap we can share, we know dates. We know it's development. Things will take a long time, or they will not take time at all. It's
So,
not definitive. So
Lord
just a
Butterfly,
holistic roadmap.
just to
Sure.
put it a
Sure.
different way, so what he's saying is Hive Engine, for instance, for its tokens, has a way that you can reward the tokens to on posts based on votes, so it does analysis on voting, and it also, I think there's like a web interface where you can go do various things related to your token. So I think that's the outpost thing. So he's just asking if that's on your guys' roadmap to add those kind of features, and do you have it? I mean, is that something you have in your plans right now, or I understand you might do it, but he's just asking what you
Yeah.
guys
Yeah.
thought of in your list of things and what that would look like.
Yeah. No. Our approach to smart contracts is quite a bit different than Hive Engine. What we're focusing on right now is wallet interoperability, basically allowing multi-chain access from
Yeah, so you guys
Dash.
are more interested in the DeFi specifically rather than
I mean,
the
we're gonna
partial
be
aspects.
yeah, we're gonna be enabling a lot of stuff based on demand, but the future development that's coming is solely based on trying to get wallets from different chains to interact with our dApp.
Yeah.
So we don't
When you
have
say cross-chain DeFi is
yes,
the
yeah,
main order
yeah,
today. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
yeah. I mean,
Okay,
we're
so
currently
But I guess that what that does is it leaves open the possibility that other guys could do that kind of integrations into MAGA, the social
yes,
integrations.
yes, yeah. That's kind of opens the doors for a lot of stuff. We have some talks with a few applications that are building on Hive, and we're gonna see how we can accommodate them with our technology. But right now, not much that Spirit Surge kind of explained is on our roadmap anytime soon. And
no, no. So I just want to be clarified. That was just an example. I wasn't saying that
Mhm.
this is the thing that you have to build. I'm just asking for a holistic roadmap for Magi. That's it. A holistic roadmap, something that you guys will build over the years, provided you
Yeah,
guys have enough funding, something like that. So if you guys have something like that, I would love to see it. And if not, that's also fine. But it's something I'm requesting.
sure, okay, no problem.
Okay. I guess that was all for you, right, Lord Butterfly? Yeah, because you were
Yes.
for questions. Okay, so I guess McFarhat.
Yeah, hello. Nothing really to report from my end in terms of core development. I mean, we've done few minor things, but yeah, nothing essential. We're still hopefully in the future. I mean, I'm probably going to be able to get someone to help soon again with development, maybe in the coming couple of months. But yeah, nothing before because we don't have the budget for that.
Gotcha. Okay, I think that's
That's me. Yeah, just quick update here. So I was basically working on Denser for the last month, and I have integrated Hive Engine tokens with it, so that anyone can basically take the Denser and make their own Hive Engine thing, make it a Hive Engine front end. So how it basically works is just additive coding, right? No modifications, very, very slight modifications. So you have an env file, you put in everything, you put in the outpost, the reward pool information where it's going to take it from. You put in the token, and then it will just render it additively
Okay, so
onto the
just
Denser
so to
front end.
understand this would show, for instance, show you how many tokens you've been awarded of a particular Hive Engine token and inside the
Yes.
Denser UI. Okay.
Yes. Yes. So this way, what happens is, so if there is no env file, it will look just like hive.log. If there is an env file with the right information, it will just show you the Hive Engine stuff. So anyone can do it. So basically, there were 3 contracts I had to work on. The first one was the Steam Engine Scottbot contract. There's still some Hive tokens that follow it, unfortunately. And then there was the Hive Engine Scottbot calculations. That is a separate one that is a little different from the Steam Engine one. So I had to put that in. And then the last one was the Outpost contract rewards, which is completely different from both of these. So in total, we have 52, almost 52 tokens, tribes, right? In so many years, there's only 52 who are basically using these features. So if any of those 52, token tribe owners who decide that they want to open an outpost, all they have to do is just create an env file and done. So so that's basically what I worked out. That's what I was discussing, before this meeting with Bartik. I will push a branch. If it can be merged into the main, that would be amazing. If not, I'll just maintain a separate one. My focus has been completely on like making sure it's additive, providing pinpoint details of what has been changed and which files have been changed. I made sure that I've run through all the tests, so it passes all 1,391 tests. 9 are still pending because not cross environments. So I've like a lot of documentation available in terms of what changes has been done. So if for instance, I'll push a branch if you guys can take the time to look at it and see if it's merge worthy, great. Because the whole idea is that the Denser changes with time, and I'm sure there's like a lot of features that is going on around Bartik's head and everything, and there's a lot of changes that's happening.
Into the branch, into the code.
Yeah.
It's more like
Yeah. So this way, what happens is, if for instance, let's say Magi or some other L2 comes tomorrow with their own contract, well, straight in, there's already a place for it. We can just throw it in the code, and then you can just use the Denser front end. So the Denser front end will become the core starting place for every single L2 as a front end. If someone wants it, otherwise they can create their own. With AI, it doesn't take much time to create things. But like, for instance, I do like, for instance, once we get the MetaMask logins and all of that stuff, side accounts, that's all going to be on Denser, so it's like the full pack is already available.
It's nice to have a unified environment for working in different things. That's for sure.
Yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I'm almost done. Once I get the documentation right, I'll make sure the wallet is right, make sure that all the changes that has been done by the AI has been reported. I'll just merge the branch with all the markdown files. You guys can read it and let me know if it's good enough. If not, then I'll just maintain a separate branch.
Sounds good. Okay, I think that's probably it for today then, unless anybody else has any questions about anything. Okay, well, see you guys next time.
Thank you. See you.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Yeah. See you.
Bye, guys. See you. Take care. Bye.